Hey there, everyone. So my name's Kristen Gosinski. I'm going to be your English instructor for English 1102. We're going to have a great time this term, right? I know every instructor starts off like that, but I mean, we really will, right? I mean, how can it go wrong? We're going to be talking about literature, ideas. It's going to be fabulous because the way I see it, and this is just me, literature is an extension of the study of people. Can you read people? Can you walk down the road and see someone and be like, oh, wow, they're a little upset right now. Let me kind of scoot over, give them some space. Maybe they just need to breathe for a minute. Yeah, if you can do that in person, you can do that in literature. And if you struggle to do that in person, if you practice that in literature, reading, analyzing, understanding, you can apply that to what you see in the real world. How cool is that? Now, I'll have a whole video based on analysis, so we're not going to get into that now. But essentially, this class is about analyzing the world. We use it all the time, right? We use analysis whether we think of it or not. So that's what we'll be doing here. And you know what? We'll be making fun of some characters because guess what? They're not real. Their feelings can't get hurt. We will talk some trash about these characters because they can't get hurt, right? So, it's a little fun. We can have a good time with this. We can be super critical. We can really like them. It gives us so much opportunity. Again, fun, right? So that's kind of the basics. So let me start off again, okay? My name's Kristen Gosinski. I'm going to be your instructor. I could tell you lists of things like why I am qualified to be your instructor, but that stuff's boring. And actually, this is the reason that people fall asleep during the first days of class. So just know that I've got degrees in English, I have degrees in history, in classics, so if anyone's interested in learning Latin, I can give you some tips. So I've got multiple avenues that I come from in terms of perspective. So if you have questions about those kinds of things, basically I'm a jack of all trades in the humanities. So we will have varying perspectives that'll help us develop our ideas that we discuss throughout class. Okay, that is my goal. So that being said, let's take a look and see about the rules of our class. You can see if you forget my name, boom, you've got it right here. You've got my contact email, so send me an email if you have any questions about anything. My office is in building 100, room 527C. Just follow the sounds of construction at this moment and you will find your way here. Office hours are Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. in person and also virtual from 1 to 2 p.m. Apologies for not having that here, but it's listed in Blackboard, so it shouldn't be it shouldn't be hard to find. My campus phone number is right here, so you can give me a call if you'd like to. Just know that I may not be in my office, so I might have to give you a call back. So email actually is the best way to get in contact with me because I can answer all parts of your questions and, it's all good. All right, so in terms of instructor policies, you don't need to buy a textbook. How cool is that, right? In assignment grades, we use Blackboard. Okay, and Blackboard can be clunky sometimes, but it's also a really good tool at giving us all of the information that we need. All right, so I will keep up with the grading and make sure that you always know where you stand. Now, in terms of course weights, I know everyone likes to know this, right? We have final drafts that ultimately are going to be worth a lot. It's about 75% of the course grade. Sorry, I had to do some mental math there, and I'm an English person, and I fit that stereotype. So yeah, 75% is your final drafts of 3 essays. So make sure that you put effort into those. That goes without saying, but I'm just putting it out there into the world. In terms of assignments, the assignments that build up to your final drafts are worth 15%. And then participation, so that's either being present during our live online class sessions or responding to the class session recording. You'll see those assignments listed on Blackboard. Okay. Now, in terms of assessment tools, we just talked about that. Assignment submissions, everything's going to be submitted in Doc or DocX. Please don't give me a PDF. Please don't give me a Google Docs link. Right, I would like a file that is Doc or DocX. I think at this point everyone's running DocX, but just something Doc, okay? It's important because if I have to convert it to grade it in Word, then you might lose some formatting. And I mean, why? Right? So you have access to Microsoft Word. It is available to you for free because of the fees that you already paid at Gwinnett Tech. Use the software that you pay for. All right. Now, that is a little note about conversion. In terms of attendance, I do expect you to be present whenever you can in terms of our class sessions. And if you are not, we have assignments designed to make sure that you are engaging with class session discussion. Okay. Now, everything for our classes will be available to you on Blackboard. It's in the lessons folder or in that course calendar, right? The lessons folder and course calendar basically mirror one another. All right. Now, in terms of your internet connection, you need to have one. Essentially, you need to have a reliable connection for the internet because it's an online course. In terms of late work, I don't accept late work unless there is an emergency. And I mean a legit emergency, not like I slept too late and forgot. No, like someone got struck by lightning, or, like there is a health emergency, essentially, something like that. And just like let me know before 8 p.m. so that way I have it in my mind, like when I go through to put the zeros in for those who didn't submit the next morning, that I don't put one in for you, right? Because you have an emergency. We'll figure something out. All right, but let me know what that emergency is so I can make sure that it's actually an emergency. Okay. Now, one note here: we will have drafts and final drafts of things in this course. Okay. If you submit a draft late, then you are not eligible to participate in peer review, because peer review is helping someone with their draft and they help you with yours. If you don't have a draft to share with them, well, then it only half works, right? And that's not fair. So if you are not, if you don't have a draft present, then you will get a 0 for the draft and you'll get a 0 for peer review. Unless there's an emergency, of course, then we'll work something out. Okay. Now, I do also have a final draft revision policy because revision is one of the unsung heroes of the writing process. The first ideas we put down on a page are never actually really that good. Sorry to tell you. I used to be that person. Type it out, never look at it again. Things are fine. They're not fine. Now I've revised the same paper like once a month for the last 2 years, and I'm still not happy with it. Okay, the more you write, the more you will learn that revision is super important. If you do not revise a draft, or you do not substantially revise a draft for the final draft of that same essay, then you're going to get a 10% deduction on the grade you earned for the draft because you haven't completed the revision process. All right, so this will make more sense as we move through term and you start really getting a feel of the essays. And of course, we end it on, don't plagiarize. Please don't do it. Do not use someone else's ideas without crediting them. Do not take their language without crediting them. I mean, you would never tell someone about a business idea that a friend of yours had without, and kind of like pretend like it's yours, or just allude to the idea that it's yours, because, I mean, that'd be pretty messed up. So why would you do that in writing, right? You're always going to say, oh, I was talking to Joe the other day, and, Joe told me X, Y, and Z in a conversation. So why wouldn't you do that in your writing? Make sure you credit when credit is due. All right? Super, super important. All right, so that is essentially our syllabus here. This syllabus is our contract between you and I to make sure we're all on the same page. All right, so yeah, absolutely. Beyond that, it's pretty chill. We're going to have a good time, and I am really, really looking forward to working with you this term.